There aren't that many people that can say that they've heard of the Swiss independent watch brand called Gorilla. And there are even fewer that know of the wandering hours complication that this Gorilla shows off. But the question remains, at its asking price, is it any good? Let's find out. Before we look at this watch, don't forget to subscribe as it really helps. Thanks. $60,000 for a watch is a lot of money. This is where a timepiece shifts in its entirety out of the luxury sphere into haute horology or high watchmaking in simple terms. At this price, you'll begin to discover in-house Swiss column wheel chronographs merged with complications like moon phases, perpetual calendars, and even flying tourbillons. But there's one complication that we don't see too often, and that is the wandering hours. Because of its undeniably unorthodox aesthetics, this complication is often featured in the more avant-garde brands like Urwerk and Harry Winston. You know, the crazies. But in 2019, Audemars Piguet released the controversial Code 1159, but this time with what it called the Star Wheel. This was AP reviving its very own wandering hours complication from the 90s, but in a much more modern design. But this being an AP with a high complication, the Code 1159 Star Wheel came with a price tag of a whopping $58,000. Not exactly a chump change for us mortals. But if you wanted to own a wandering hours complication watch with a strong connection to a high horology brand like AP, then Gorilla has got you covered. Octavio Garcia, the man who ran as Audemars Piguet's creative design director for over 13 years, joined forces with Lucas Kopp and started their very own Swiss independent watch brand that offered exceptional quality watchmaking at an attainable price. Lucas, just like Octavio, was a senior designer at AP with a stellar background in designing watches for the likes of IWC. And while the majority of watches created by Gorilla are fairly simple in terms of complications, this Carbon GT Drift Mirage is a true flex in the brand's watchmaking abilities. Just like the Code 1159 Star Wheel, this watch features a wandering hours complication along with far sportier specifications. While the Code is meant as more of a futuristic and exciting dress watch, the Gorilla is a well-built, no-nonsense sports watch. And while the Audemars Piguet will cost you more than a Mercedes CLA, this watch will set you back around $4,000. Still a lot of money, but when you consider the quality and the complication that you're getting, this is a bargain. The way that the brand manages to keep the price this low is by using a Swiss ETA movement as a base caliber and incorporating a module that's been engineered by Vaucher manufacturer exclusively for Gorilla. According to Time and Tides, Vaucher has created movements for the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 34 and 37mm models along with the $300,000 RM6501. The ETA 2824 that's been used in this watch as a base caliber is not new in the luxury watch space and has been extensively used in the industry for quite a while now. There are several variations of this caliber, with the basic versions being used in the more entry-level Swiss brands like Hamilton, but when it comes to high-end brands, they use the more premium versions of this caliber that are often finished, regulated, and modified in-house to perform much better. So it's a no-brainer for a young brand like Gorilla to use this tried and tested movement as a base caliber for this watch. Not only does it make this watch overall more affordable, but you could get it serviced easily by any watchmaker at a far more reasonable price than a fully in-house movement. The watch comes in a 44mm case with a thickness of 13.9mm and a lug-to-lug of 57mm, giving it quite a significant presence. The case material is forged carbon combined with a blue fixed ceramic bezel and a screw-down crown in titanium. You also get a sapphire crystal on both the front and the exhibition case back. The bicolor integrated rubber strap is thick but extremely comfortable and is designed to be breathable on the wrist. With 100 meters of water resistance and an ultra-light case, this watch can be worn all day long without fatigue. The automatic ETA 2824 caliber offers an accuracy of plus-minus 20 seconds per day, a beat frequency of 21,600 vibrations per hour, a power reserve of 42 hours, along with both hacking and hand winding. The case architecture and finishing is a testament of the brand's attention to detail, along with experience in high watchmaking. If you've never experienced a wandering hours complication before, you might be wondering how on earth you would read the time. But it's actually super easy. Each number on the 3 individually rotating discs represents the hours. And since they are in constant rotation both as a group and at times individually, these numbers display the wandering hours. The minutes can be found on the top half of the dial on a fixed aperture. So all you need to do is focus on one single number on the rotating disc that aligns the corresponding hour numeral with the minute track. It's a clever complication that creates almost a perpetual dance. The black carousel on the center is hand finished to perfection. Even the rubber that's used for the strap is a high-grade Vuitton rubber that's commonly used in the aerospace and the automotive industry because of its extensive durability and innate nature that allows it to be non-reactive to chemicals. As this is essentially an integrated strap, you'd want your strap to be extremely comfortable and durable, and that's exactly what Gorilla has delivered. This is not a cheap watch. Based on price alone, you wouldn't be wrong to compare this to a Tudor or even Omega. But if you're one of the people willing to take the leap, you wouldn't be buying this watch for its brand name. At around $4,000, this is a watch for true watch enthusiasts that knows exactly what they're buying and who they're buying from. Red Army Watches Malaysia is an authorized dealer for Gorilla watches and several other independent watch brands and does provide international delivery service. So do check out the website for more information. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Also, let me know in the comments, what do you think of this watch? Thanks for all your support, and I'll see you in the next one.